what you'll see in the recent releases is, of course, there are multiple jobs that a retail buyer is doing. So that first release is, how do I order? What's my Monday, Tuesday ordering? What we've really gotten into in the last few months, and I arguably even the last 30 days, is more around menu planning. We can call it inventory health. You can consider it like product mix and allocation. But it's really understanding like who stays and who goes, who is contributing to actually paying the bills. So when we go into the screen to show the app, we'll look at like how do we view that? How quickly can you find that, right? You could have fast movers at low margin, and you could have mid movers at really high margin. Like which one actually puts dollars in your bank account so you can make payroll next week, right? Who is fueling the business? Who is funding the business? Understanding a lot around rotational SKUs, right? Strain-based products are the unique thing we deal in with cannabis. Most retail software can't handle it. It's not a box of Cheerios with the same SKU, and you can always order that box, right? It's like your Cheerios come in 27 different strains, and you can't order the same Cheerios that flew off your shelf last week, right? That's the world we live in. So SKU groups fit into that. And then we're going to get into really the like where are we skating to? We have that automated ordering at the end. That's always top of mind, right? And it's like this thing that we make a lot of progress to. You could say we do a lot of it now. We have suggested allocation and orders, and you can click add to cart and build your purchase request. That is automated ordering. But we ain't done yet. Like we're working on automated ordering and automated ordering and automated ordering. And how can I put in front of you all the things you need to do today and check them off the list? So we're really always moving in that direction. And we have a lot of things that we're releasing every week that are going to be coming in the weeks and months to follow around more and more automated ordering in there.
Cool. So let's get into some stuff that is live now that just hit the press.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
get into
People don't
it?
want
Yeah.
to, we love talking about what we're building. People don't want to talk about what they're building until they can use it. So we want to let everybody know what we're thinking about and obsessing over. But what can you do today? That 14-day trial, right? You hit us up, you share an API key, we get your data in there. What can you do with it? Recently, these three things kind of covering major areas: the SKU groups, rotating SKUs, that inventory health. How can I walk top down and understand what's contributing to the success of my business? And then when things go off the rails a little bit, your aging data is kind of where the SOPs kick in for how do I actually move these? How do I not carry those again? How do I work with a vendor and a brand to figure out how to return some things in there? So that's enough talking about it. Let's do some
Let's show it.
show and tell.
Let's show
Um,
it.
all right, screen share. We'll also keep this super, super collaborative. So the three of us, myself, Eric, and Andrew here, we literally talk about this all day, every day, in Slack, on Zoom calls, huddling up in the middle of the night, sending each other texts. So we want to kind of give you a behind the scenes look of not just, hey, here's this feature, what does it do? But how did it come to be? How are people using it? What's interesting? It's always the iceberg thing, right? If we nail this, it'll always look simple. Cobb will tell you it's not simple. He lives like fully below that iceberg level of like what are the machines doing to roll up this data and give you a view of it, right? So let's start here on inventory health. I mentioned, the first task we're really working on is reordering. When we think about inventory health and kind of walking top down, especially multi-location, it really does come down to like menu planning and just understanding at a glance what's the health of your business and what is contributing to that health or what's in the way of that health, right? So there's kind of two ways to look at it. What do you want to lean in and double down on? Who are your relationships that you're like, I should call them? Can I increase that margin a little bit? Or who are you like, I don't know, like it's not working out. We gave it a shot, but it's just not contributing. Like we can't make a business out of it. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, it could be a brand we love. It could be people we love. Hopefully, we can have a conversation with them and help them improve it. But sometimes it's just time to move on and say, we tried. It wasn't there. It's not moving the needle enough for us, right? So when we look at inventory health and we look at this kind of summary, we talk about these as roll up, you talk about it as top down. It's something that a lot of pivot tables and spreadsheets, as always, can be put together. It's something that a lot of, I would say, point of sale reports and reporting tools will give you like top five, top 10. One thing that we chose to do here is let you walk all of your data from a store level to a category level to a brand level to a SKU level and see it all. You can page through all of it. We're not just going to surface the top 10. You can sort on any of the columns here if you want to look at your health in different ways. When you log in, you'll see it's sorted by total profit. Why? These are the dollars given back to your business post discount pre-tax. You don't get to keep the tax, right? The discount, you never got the dollars from in the first place. Post discount pre-tax, this should be the dollars that you get to put in the bank account, which is where all the bills have to come out of, right? It's very, very important. It might not be the only way you want to look at it, but here in a multi-store setup, I can see which stores are contributing, which stores are struggling, right? There's different locations. We don't expect them all to perform. You would understand why your Mountain East has a much lower population than your Western burbs. You can understand that and know if that's a problem or not. You can look here. We talked about aging a little bit. I could sort the same data. What's interesting is like Western burbs is contributing a lot of profit. It's also got a lot of age units over here. So it could be better, right? Like it's already great. It's already my top performing store. Can I get more out of it? How do I get more out of it? Looking at aging products is a good way to optimize in there and start to dive into that. But a thing that you'll probably do the most, I'm going to skip over. You can walk stores, categories, brands. I'll come back to it. But brands are really, really the thing that I think about in menu planning and inventory health of, that's who you choose to partner with. That's who you choose to carry with. Of course, they carry multiple product lines in different categories. But when you think about menu planning, it's almost always where you jump to next. Like you get that snapshot of like, how are my stores performing? Okay, what's going on here? I might come back to that. But you think about like brand leaderboards, top brands contributing, right? You come in here and you sort brands by profit, and you can see which brands you're carrying are paying the bills, right? And it's always interesting when you look at this because these numbers can tell different stories. My margin might be lower on this brand than some other brands. Room for improvement there. Go negotiate. My units sold could be medium. My dollars sold could be high and low. You can kind of sort by these and look at how it's contributing because maybe this one's throwing off the most, but there's ways to improve other ones, right? If I've got one that I'm selling a ton of, but it's not contributing to the profit, I'm over discounting it, right? I need better price negotiation on that one. There's a lot of ways to look at this. Another thing to look at is diving into the store by store. So going in here and saying, okay, how does this look in med versus rec? If I have a med versus rec thing, because my brand's contributing overall could be different store by store. So I can explore this not just at the highest store level. I can explore brand contribution at a store. I can look at this and say, okay, we looked at Mountain East, right? Mountain East, lower population, lower traffic. That's fine, but I need to be careful there to not overstock that. Then it's fine to know that, but are there brands that are aging a lot more that we need to have conversations with? And when I think about aging here, I can look at four different aging buckets. I can look at 0 to 30 days, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 90 plus, right? The standard kind of retail buyer buckets that they put aging into. You can see I've got the 61 plus buckets here, right? I've got profit. I've got other data here. I'm not really looking at those two buckets for the kind of positive negative side. On the negative side, I'm looking at 60 plus. That's what I'm considering this aged inventory. 0 to 30 is not a problem. 31 to 60 is like warning lights start to flash, certain categories, certain SKUs, maybe that's fine. Your topicals, your tinctures, like those almost always go 30. Like you can't order a small enough case size to clear it in 30 days, but you got to have it. It's an add-on product. There are you treat these different categories differently, which you can look at in categories here, right? If I go to my topicals tinctures, I'll probably see some different aging data in here. Although here we're keeping it actually pretty low. We know that over here. Some of my fast movers I'm overstocked on. We got live data. This is probably post 420. Some overstock going on too. Everybody remember that. We'll hit on some features on how to deal with that. But I'm really looking at the 60 plus for, do I have a problem with certain brands here? That's where I'm going to flash at. Now, what do I do about that? Let's just pick. I'm going to pick on somebody. Look, it's a hover. Drill down, right? We talk about roll ups and drill downs. This is my rolled up inventory health. How's my store doing? How's it doing by category? How are my brands doing at certain stores? But then I'm going to need to dive in and understand that, right? And I'll just do this again just to show how fast this is, which is something we really, really, really hang our hats on. It's just the speed and performance of everything in this app. We do not release it if it's not fast. I'm going to kick it to Cobb here in 30 seconds and let him talk about how we make it fast, because things like inventory health, where we're doing just a massive amount of calculations, and then we're trying to click through and show you the SKU by SKU breakdown of that, so you could look at it and say, like, okay, that brand has a problem. Is it the brand overall? Not really. It's certain SKUs, right? So maybe I just need to cull a few SKUs from that brand. I can drill down and start to make that menu planning, assortment mix decisions here, looking at my margin and my dollar sold and my profit from different SKUs. Because there's some in here that might be great, and then there's some in here as I get into the pages that I'm probably just carrying too many SKU from this brand. It may not be a brand problem. It may be it's going to cut it down a little bit. But this speed of clicking around this is really unmatched and not available in general reporting tools that are building on reporting frameworks and analytics frameworks. Like, this is enterprise B2B software that we're purposely building to do this. We're not building this on a reporting interface that takes 2 minutes to generate reports. We're building this as interactive, click through, instantaneously loaded, sortable apps